really begins more than 200,000 years of human history. Today we're going to step far back in time, beyond what most textbooks cover, and to see the real beginnings of human history. We're first going to see what we will cover today. We're going to talk about what most people think and the true beginnings of Homo sapiens, daily life of early humans, the major turning point, which is the agricultural revolution, the rise of civilizations, ancient intelligence and creativity, human migration across the world, and then we are going to put it in a timeline perspective and talk about why it all matters today. First of all, we're going to talk about what most people think. Many people believe history started about 5,000 years ago. The view usually highlights the Egyptians, Mesopotamians, and early Chinese dynasties. The focus is on rulers, kings, pyramids, temples, and battles. Writing systems like cuneiform and hieroglyphs are often treated as the starting point of recorded history. But this gives the wrong impression. It's completely wrong. It makes history seem equal to civilization. In truth, humans lived, created, and adapted for hundreds of thousands of years before these civilizations appeared. The last 5,000 years are only a very small part of our much longer story. Now, what about the real beginning? The real beginning, Homo sapiens, or modern humans, first appeared in Africa more than 200,000 years ago. They were hunter gatherers, tool makers, and fire users. They shared the same physical and mental abilities as we do today. Unlike earlier human species, Homo sapiens used complex language, created art, and formed strong communities. They were adaptable and survived in deserts, forests, and even colder regions. Over time, they spread out of Africa and reached nearly every continent except Antarctica. Their creativity and cooperation made them the only human species to survive to the present day. Now, we're going to talk about the daily life of the early humans. Early humans lived in small groups of about 20 to 50 people. They hunted animals, fished, and gathered plants, berries, and roots. Stone tools such as axes and knives, along with wooden spears and bone needles, were common. They built shelters with wood, hides, and maybe bone sometimes. Fire was at the center of their lives, used for warmth, safety, and cooking food. They left behind cave paintings and carvings showing ideas, beliefs, and creativity. Survival depended on cooperation, shared tasks, and social bonds built through storytelling and rituals. Now we are going to talk about the major turning point, which is the agricultural revolution. About 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution changed everything. People began planting seeds and domesticating animals. This happened in the Fertile Crescent, the Nile Valley, the Indus Valley, and the Yellow River region. Farming provided steady food so groups can settle in one place. Permanent homes grew into villages, then towns, and eventually cities. Food surpluses supported population growth and new kinds of work. This shift transformed life from nomadic hunter-gathering to settled communities. Now we are going to talk about civilization, such as cities, writing, and empires. With farming and settled villages, societies grew quickly. The first civilizations formed in river valleys where water supported crops and trade. Mesopotamia rose between the Tigris and Euphrates, with cities like Ur and Babylon. Egypt thrived along the Nile, with pharaohs building pyramids and temples. In the Indus Valley, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro had advanced layouts and drainage. China's Yellow River supported dynasties with bronze tools and early writing. Civilizations brought governments, laws, armies, and organized religions. They built monumental architecture, developed trade, and created writing systems. All of this took place in just the last 5,000 years, a fraction of human history. Now, ancient intelligence, human intelligence did not begin with civilizations. Tens of thousands of years earlier, humans were already creating art, music, and even rituals. Cave paintings in France and Spain show hunting scenes more than 15,000 years old. The Venus of Willendorf figurine, 25,000 years old, reveals symbolic thought. Bone flutes more than 40,000 years old show music was part of human culture. Burials with jewelry, tools, and ochre suggest beliefs in an afterlife. These discoveries prove that humans were always creative, thoughtful, and curious. Now, we're going to talk about the Great Migration. Humans on the move. Around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, humans began migrating out of Africa. They moved into the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. Groups reached Australia more than 40,000 years ago. About 15,000 years ago, people crossed the land bridge of Beringia into North America and later South America. These migrations were slow, taking centuries or longer across many generations. Humans adapted to deserts, mountains, ice ages, and forests. Along the way, they invented new tools, clothing, and survival strategies. The Great Migration created the diversity we see in people today. Now we are going to put all of it into a timeline perspective. Imagine human history as one 24-hour day. Homo sapiens appeared at midnight. For almost the whole day, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. At 11:40 p.m., farming began. At 11:50 p.m., civilizations emerged along rivers. At 11:59 p.m., writing was invented. And at 11:59 and 59 seconds p.m., the internet appeared. This shows the modern life is extremely recent compared to the long journey of humanity. Now we're going to talk about what the point of all of this history is. History is not just rulers, wars, and buildings, although I have to admit these are very fun. It is also the story of survival, adaptation, and creativity. Every discovery, from fire to farming, shaped the modern world. Human cooperation and problem solving were just as important as kings and empires. Understanding this long journey shows that our roots reach back far beyond the last few thousand years. The resilience of early humans lives on in us today. Here are some final thoughts. The human story stretches far beyond the last 5,000 years. We are the result of hundreds of thousands of years of survival, adaptation, and creativity. Our shared past shows our resilience and our common humanity. History is not just about the past, it still continues today, and we are still writing its next chapters. Thank you for joining this journey through human history. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like, subscribe, and comment. More history lessons are coming soon. See you next time. Or should I say, see you in the past.